Alright people, what the hell is going on? I got my shades on, I got my hat, and I'm outside. So I'll get to listen to all the boo-boo ass traffic and noise and stuff that I gotta listen to. Weather's pretty good out here. It's bright, sunny, which is not necessarily good for my eyes. That's why I got my shades and shit on. But what's today's topic? I just watched Ant-Man, Quantumania. It just started streaming today, May 17th, 2023. So it just started streaming today, and I saw it real early in the morning, like 2 in the morning. That's what I saw. You know, I was waiting for it to come out today. I was like, I'm gonna wait till I'm awake before I watch this movie. I ain't want to watch it half sleep and no shit like that. So I woke up, man, I was up late. I woke up today around 11 o'clock. 11 whole o'clock. And got myself together, made some snacks, and I watched the movie, and it was nice. That's about all I can say. You know what I'm saying? That's about all I can say. It's nice. It wasn't bad. I didn't know really what to expect other than knowing who the villain was going to be, but that's not much of a spoiler going into the movie, especially if you watch any trailers and stuff like that, which is stuff I actively avoid. Going into these Marvel movies and these DC movies and stuff like that, just stay away from the articles, stay away from the little the YouTube videos, and just stay away from that shit until you are actively caught up on everything. Because I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet. I just saw fucking Ant-Man, and that been out for some months now. You know, it don't make no sense for me to go to the movies with my vision because I can't see shit. Which wouldn't, watching this on my TV with the way I got my shit set up, I was like, man, if I would have went to the movies or something, I wouldn't have saw anything. Hey, cat, because Ant-Man is set in this whole quantum realm type of shit, which basically looks like it's nighttime all the fucking time. Which means my screen was dark for a lot of the goddamn movie, and I couldn't make out a bunch of shit that was happening to start with. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay, if I'd have went to the movies, I'd have just listened to it and been like, okay. You know, I wouldn't have been able to make out a bunch of nothing. As far as notable shit in the movie, wasn't nothing really notable, at least not to me. You know, I haven't watched any reviews or nothing like that. I do my little personal review before I go and start watching reviews and how people pick apart the show. Now, later on today, at some point during the day, I'll go in there YouTube and start looking up reviews and all that other kind of nerd shit on fucking YouTube where they pick the movie apart, and they'll be able to show me everything that I missed and a bunch of shit in the movie that I wouldn't have been able to see to start with. Like a bunch of Easter eggs and shit like that, stuff like a bunch of that shit I just wouldn't have known. And I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of it in there. The one thing that I did notice, at least to me personally, is that this movie was a lot different from what I was used to watching. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot different from what I was used to watching as far as the Marvel shit go. I got a lot of Star Wars vibes off of this shit. And that's coming from somebody who ain't watched a bunch of Star Wars. My Star Wars knowledge is limited to the original trilogy and the one Jedi movie that came out however many years ago. with the little circle robot where they kind of introduced the chick, the Mary Sue chick that everybody was complaining about, and then the black guy stormtrooper, you know, that movie with them in it, and Kylo Ren. And I saw that. That's my extent. I've seen 4 Star Wars movies, and one of those movies was somewhat in this era, and the other 3 movies I've seen is shit that came out in the fucking 80s. Not that I saw it in the 80s, because I was only maybe about 6, 7 years old, even if that, when those movies was coming out and shit. So, yeah. But just from media osmosis, because I hadn't watched a bunch of that shit don't mean I hadn't seen any of it. I get a lot of Star Wars vibes off of this movie here, and it's because even though it's, you know, it's in another quantum universe or whatever the fuck, it's alien. It's like alien. It's like if you go to another and you see a whole bunch of. I didn't get that from Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but from this movie, it kind of reminds me of a Star Wars movie. You got all these freaky ass aliens and shit all over the goddamn place. And shit like that. I ain't saying it as a bad thing, it's just an observation. So going into the movie, it's just like, okay, I know who the villain gonna be. And then you gotta listen to them do this whole pronoun game. You know the pronoun game where motherfuckers keep asking you the same goddamn question over and over again. Everybody you run across keep asking motherfucker the same fucking question, and they won't fucking answer it directly. You know, they just give them a pronoun, him, her, it, or some shit without fucking just saying it. They did that shit for the longest at the beginning of this movie before Kang actually appeared. They was doing this shit like beforehand, and then once they actually got into the goddamn quantum verse or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and they was actively avoiding, fighting, and doing all kind of shit. You still playing the goddamn pronoun game? They're all asking the who, you know, what the fuck is going on? Who the hell are we avoiding? Or who the hell we trying to find? And all this other shit. Motherfuckers are just. I'm trying to protect. How the fuck you gonna protect somebody for some shit, and you already in the shit? It not knowing is not helping. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing is not helping. There gotta be a way for people to write themselves. You ought to be able to maintain a goddamn story. You know, you ought to be able to maintain a goddamn story. Some kind of story integrity or something. Without writing that type of shit in there. It's so cliche. It's the same shit. Trope, cliche, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The pronoun game is so goddamn frustrating. Just say it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody already know there's some shit after us. You can't protect us. We already in it. It's like you throw a motherfucker in the water, then you tell them, I'm trying to keep you from getting wet. Well, bitch, we in the pool now. You can't protect me from getting wet. I'm already soaked. So what the fuck is going on? Before the motherfucker actually show up, and then it's like, okay, fine. We don't have to play this shit no more. It's always frustrating when I see that shit. I'm like, come on, man, just fucking say it. You know, we don't need the extra 15 minutes of runtime for them to figure this shit out. Just fucking say it. It's Kang. I ran across a motherfucker in here named Kang. He a bad motherfucker. We need to get away from him, stay away from him as long as possible. You know, and all that shit. So, they played that. I don't know who showed up first. This is one of the main reasons why I don't watch none of the fucking trailers and articles and shit like that, because I saw fucking Bill Murray, or somebody I thought was Bill Murray. Like I said, my vision is bad. If I'd have went to the movies and saw that dude that I'm really sure is Bill Murray, they didn't have him doing a weird stupid shit, but you know, it's like, okay, that's Bill Murray. That puts a grin on my face. Anytime you watching one of these Marvel movies and one of these fucking out of the blue ass motherfuckers show up, you kind of like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't like that type of shit, then fuck you. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you don't like that type of shit, then fuck you. You definitely don't need to be watching these movies. It's like, oh shit, that's Bill fucking Murray. You know, he was in it only for a hot second, but he was in it. I was like, God damn, that was like, shit. All right. You know, they put a smile on my face. And then motherfucking MODOK shows up. And I'm like, see now, all that shit is a surprise. It ain't none of it a surprise if you watch the trailers and all these interviews and articles and all that kind of shit, because you'll know all this stuff going into the movie. There's no surprise. I was surprised. Bill Murray, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? That is some shit right there. Then MODOK was in this motherfucker. I was like, oh shit, that's MODOK. You know, and I'm just like, I mean, just like any of these movies, they change the characters up. You know what I'm saying, a little bit. You know, MODOK is not the comic book MODOK, but MODOK is, you know, whatever the fuck. With this stupid ass, I done forgot the goddamn acronym for that shit. Well, MODOK is the acronym. I forget the actual words for it. But it is what it is. I was happy to see that shit. But once you actually see it, it's like, oh, I don't know. For some reason, when MODOK showed up, I'm like, well, my thing was like, they're not gonna kill off MODOK. They killed him off, but I knew something. I knew there was gonna be some kind of redemption there. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was gonna be some kind of redemption arc with that character, especially when Kane caught up to all of them, and then MODOK was in the room with him, and MODOK started talking, and Kane zapped his ass up against the wall and told him not to speak within the room. I was like, okay, something gonna come of that. You know what I'm saying? Something is gonna come of that. And it did. You know what I'm saying? It did. So that paid off. It just sometimes when I be watching these movies and you looking at shit and you can kind of predict what the fuck is gonna happen, you kind of be like, you know what? I'm glad I was able to see. I'm glad I was able to anticipate, you know, that happening. You know, that's nice. It lets me know my brain actually works sometimes. But, you know, those are the two noticeable things, at least with me. Only other thing that I can think of when watching this movie is that the WASP, that particular character, is not very entertaining. The WASP is not a very charismatic, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's not what's Hope Van Dyne is her name, I think. Cassie Van Dyne. I just jammed two motherfuckers together. I was trying to think. It's Cassie Lang, Hope Van Dyne, Janet Van Dyne, Hank Pym, and Scott Lang. I have to put that shit in my head. You know, I'll put that shit in my head, just make sure I fucking know it. But Hope Van Dyne is not a very charismatic person. She would not have a movie on her own. She would not spend too much time on her own in a movie. Just that character itself just won't carry shit. Scott Lang, you know, he kind of goofy, funny, or whatever the fuck. You can write him however the fuck you think some shit need to be played, even if it's off color or some shit. Hope Van Dyne is just damn near stick in the mud. And I know she's in other movies, but I don't remember a whole lot about it. I But yeah, going into the movie, I didn't necessarily know that Kang was gonna be the villain. I saw a trailer, I think, maybe. But the fucked up part about that is, spoiler alert coming if you don't want to know nothing about Guardians of the Galaxy, because I don't. But I'm pretty sure I seen Kang in the Guardians of the Galaxy, trailer. I'm pretty sure I did. And that's why I was like, okay, I gotta, like if I'm watching YouTube videos, at least if I'm watching them on my TV, on my phone, those trailers will pop up, skip, it's automatic skip. Any type of Marvel, DC, skip. I don't want to see it. I just don't. I don't want to see it. But I'm thinking that I saw Kang in a Guardians of the Galaxy thing, which is not surprising. The way they got shit set up, Kang can be the villain of every fucking movie for the rest of this goddamn phase moving forward. You know what I'm saying? They set it up the way they can do what the fuck they want to do, and I don't know what's going on with this Jonathan Majors shit with his little whatever he got going on. I try not to pay too much attention to that shit. Sometimes you don't. But first of all, I don't know shit. But I don't know who the fuck a Jonathan Majors is. So when they bring up shit about him, in the news or something, I'm like, Jonathan Majors, that's the guy that played Kang or whatever. And I'm like, you kind of just shrug your fucking shoulders. But it's just like, when you think about how major the shit is, you know what I'm saying? When you think about major it is after the fact, after you familiar with the movies and then him, because shit, he got multiple shit going on at once. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't he in the Creed movies? I don't know to what aspect. I've seen all the Creed movies, but those are movies that I will gladly wait to come to video to watch. You would never see me, unless I was on a movie date with somebody. I don't want to go see no sweaty ass niggas on my screen. I'm sorry. Women, maybe. But just watch some shirtless dudes running around working out doing all that. No, that's some eye candy for some other folks. That ain't enough boobs and ass in those movies for me to go and watch them. Even though I won't be able to see all this shit at the movies anyway. I'll watch them here. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? But he might be the other boxer, I don't know. But like I said, but when you think about it and you actually see the movies, because you don't know what's going on other than what you saw in fucking Loki, and then you see this shit and you like, okay, now I see where this shit is can stir up some shit. Now, if Disney decide to roll with Jonathan Majors, like I said, I avoid that shit on purpose. All right, the nature of Kang itself, even though they done already showed they showed their hand. You know what I'm saying, in the end credits of this movie of Ant-Man. And also, they showed their hand that they can do whatever the fuck they want to do. Jonathan Majors don't have to be Kang. You know what I'm saying? Even though he played, if you look at the credits, because you watch the movie, he fucking dies at the end of the movie, but he not the only Kang. You know what I'm saying? He not the only fucking Kang. They tell you that in fucking in Loki. They tell you that in Loki. That Kang Nathaniel, that's his name. I don't know what. I know the actor name is Jonathan, but for some reason I be wanting to call him Jonathan Richards. His name is Nathaniel Richards. He's actually. Now I'm sitting here for to do the world actually, but I don't know if this is gonna play into anything going into the Marvel, in the Marvel MCU. You know they can do what the fuck they spit MODOK out their ass, some totally different shit from what it is, and I don't really know shit about MODOK. I seen the MODOK cartoon on Hulu. You know what I'm saying? I saw that, which is, it's entertaining. It is not no kid cartoon, I tell you that much. They spit that shit out. They spit them out any way they want. But he's a descendant of Reed Richards. You know what I'm saying? He managed to keep that name going over all those, however the fuck many goddamn generations. But yeah, that black guy that you see is a long relative, grandson or something, whatever the fuck, of Reed Richards, the white guy that you gonna see in whatever the fuck they put together for the MCU. Now is Kane gonna still be around? But once the Fantastic Four shit gets integrated into the MCU, is Kane gonna be still around the way they put that shit together where Reed Richards, smartest man alive, should be able to put that shit together like it ain't nothing, but like, that's one of my grandchildren right there, causing all this trouble. You know what I'm saying? He had to be able to put that shit together. But it's, whatever. But Jonathan Majors don't have to be Kane. He don't. In the end credits. They show the other Kanes. They show the I guess the major ones, and then when they do say, well, the exiled one, the one that was exiled for whatever reason. I guess he was a Kane, a Kane that was causing the most shit, that was fucking with whatever all the other Kanes were trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I guess all the Kanes, they got all their little agendas, but this one Kane shit was just throwing a monkey wrench in everybody's shit, so they ganged up and stuck him in the quantum realm. So they got word that he was dead, and that other people are aware of whatever the fuck they got going on with the timelines. That shit gonna get all kind of confusing. You know what I'm saying? If you just ain't on fucking top of it. So now they going into defense mode. But he was like, okay, they called the other Kanes, so they can get their shit together. And then it's like, okay, how many did you call? And he was like, all of them. And they just show this whole fucking, it looked like an arena, a stadium full of Kanes. You know what I'm saying? Now the ones they show right there in front of you all got Jonathan Majors' face. And then they show a couple of, you only get a glimpse of a few other Kanes. They all got generally the same face, but different versions of it and all kind of other shit. It might be like some alien looking Kang or some other shit. But inside of that can be any combination of any goddamn DNA that's a Nathaniel Richards or Kane. I'm pretty sure there's some of them out there that's just a Nathaniel Richards and not a Kane. They can do that. You know what I'm saying? So if he gets written out for whatever reason and they have to pivot, they can pivot without having to throw shit away. All right, the Kane that y'all did, the version of the Kane that y'all ran across looked like this. But it's an infinite multiverse of Kangs out there. And in this universe, this is what the fuck they look like. They don't all have to be fucking black. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be surprised that if, whenever Sam Jackson is not doing the shit no more, they could pull the old school white ass Nick Fury out. You know what I'm saying? They could do that if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? They got the multiverse. This is what happens when you open up that goddamn can of worms with the multiverse and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? You open up that can of worms. Now you got to get out of jail card for everything. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out of jail card for everything when you start opening up shit for the multiverse. And you got people talking about secret invasion and all this other kind of stuff. There's so much shit going on that I done totally forgot about the Skrulls and shit like that on the planet Earth and the Kree and all that shit that was going on and fucking that was going on with Captain Marvel and shit. I forgot all about that shit. You gotta be reminded of everything that's fucking going on. Watching all these movies, you watch so many of them that you forgot. I'm like, oh yeah, Secret Invasion. They got fucking shape-shifting Skrulls down here. You gotta remember the last time we saw Nick Fury. It wasn't even Nick Fury. It's a fucking Skrull and fucking Spider-Man. That wasn't Nick Fury. Where is Nick Fury? I don't fucking know. Off doing something? Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck Nick Fury is fucking doing. So it can be confusing watching all this shit. And then they got on that Kang will return. Well, no, Kang will not return. Kang has always been here. That's the thing about when you're dealing with these entities that span multiverses and timelines and shit like that. No, it's not that he returning. No, that motherfucker is dead. They confirmed that at the end of the movie. So Kang will not return. Matter of fact, the two Kangs that we ran across the first Kang we ran in Loki, didn't he die some kind of way? I have to go back and watch that shit. Go back and look at the last episode and see what happened to that Kang. But I'm pretty sure that Kang died. And then he warned us of other hymns. Other hymns. He was the motherfucker. I forgot what title he had, but he gave himself. He said, "Well, I'm known as this and I'm known as that, and blah blah blah." No, another you is known as that. It's not you, motherfucker. It's another motherfucker that you might be aware of. I wonder if that's the MCU where this shit is the MCU version of a Council of Reeds. If you know what the Council of Reeds is, then you know what the Council of Reeds is. I doubt it, but technically it is a Council of Reeds because all of those are riches. It'd have to be a Council of Mates. The Council of Reeds is all the fucking Reed Richardses get together and they try to figure shit out. Now we got a council of mates, a council of fucking Nathaniels, getting together trying to figure out how to protect their personal interests with all this timeline bullshit going on. That's the most interesting part about this goddamn movie. Ant-Man is not all that goddamn interesting. None of the characters in this shit are interesting to me at all. It's entertaining. It's entertaining. But Ant-Man is like, he can get big and get small. He has fortitude, you know what I'm saying? That's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end when he was fighting Kang. Kang was beating his ass. Kang should have been able to just smack him like it ain't no tomorrow and go through that goddamn portal to get into the main universe. You know what I'm saying? Where he was trying to get to it. No, but he want to sit there and smack and do all kind of stupid shit. And I'm just throwing them around and, you know, talking and doing it. You know, you could have just been like, where all the powers he had go? Because I still don't understand all the. I know that Kang was able to jump from time travel and jump universes and all kind of shit like that. As far as his prowess, as far as powers is concerned, I don't know if that shit is innate within him or if it's his technology, like this, you know, his suit or whatever that he didn't have until after they got his ship back, or if that's where his power come from, his actual suit. You know, like I said, he's a descendant of Reed Richards. I mean, who's you know, all of his kids have powers to some degree. You know what I'm saying? I only know of two. I just know that Nathaniel Richards is a long descendant of his, but you know, his fucking Reed Richards and Sue Storm, they fucking kids have powers. Hell, one of their kids is the most powerful motherfucker it is, Franklin. I don't know if you gonna have I don't know if they gonna eventually have a Franklin Richards in the fucking in the MCU, because that would just be stupid. You break all the movies. You wouldn't be able to make no more, because Franklin would just be able to come in and be like, nah, none of this shit happens. Franklin literally creates universes. Like, what the fuck? Like, literally, you know, comic book shit have some weird ass shit, you know. They try to ground this shit, you know, a little bit. But yeah. And then, I forget the sister name, but she, little kid, she's just smarter than everybody. Little kid, smarter than every goddamn body. You got the little boy, Franklin, just more powerful than everybody. He can do whatever the fuck he want to do. You know what I'm saying? To the point where, you know, this is some shit that ain't got nothing to do with the movie, to where you got somebody that's so powerful that a future you got to travel back in time to teach you how to use your fucking powers. You know what I'm saying? You know, how is it you such a bad motherfucker that your self from the future, a grown-up you, gotta travel back in time to teach you how to use your goddamn powers. You control yourself. You control your powers or whatever the fuck it is. It's stupid. That's the type of shit you can't have in the fuck, because you know how people always breaking the common sense barrier when it comes to these movies. But why wouldn't we just do this? But why wouldn't you just do that? And why? And when you know, the writers that come up with this shit in these movies, and they be in these rooms coming up with these stories and putting all this shit together, you can't think of every goddamn thing. I don't give a damn how many people you put in the fucking room. You know, it's just, it's like what that Vulcan shit, infinite possibilities, infinite. God damn it! I just thought of this shit. I can't even say it. I just got to watching Star Trek, and they said this shit, and I don't know, whatever that shit. It's just combinations is endless. So whatever they come up with, somebody like me or somebody else that sit back and watch the shit can poke holes all up in this shit. Like it ain't, you know, it's stupid. It's, you know, it's just like doing this movie here. When they was up fighting against Kang got all these powers, so he can zap people. He went out and started just doing some blue beam shit where he was just taking motherfuckers out. Until it got into the people in the main cast, and all of a sudden, you know, it ain't none of that shit. You just got through killing like 30 goddamn people. And all of a sudden, somebody that's in the credits, you can't do shit to them. Like, come on, man, get the fuck out of here. He was like, I mean, if you really wanted to fuck up some shit, he was able to, you know, he can do shit, freeze people in time to where they just stuck, and then open up, or you can just, and open up a portal to wherever the fuck you want to go and just walk through the portal and he back up. Why do you have any problems? You know what I'm saying? If you can do that, why do you have any problems at all? And that's the thing about powerful villains and shit like that, because it always comes down to hubris and common sense. Like, if you want to get back to the main universe, stop fucking around with Scott Lang and walk your ass through the fucking portal. When he finally decide to get through the goddamn portal, there go fucking Hope Van Dyne just happened to be there and popped his ass back. You just get the fuck out of here. You can't see on the other side of the portal. How you know that he was just right there? You know, it's just, and that's not against the movie. It's just, that's how shit works. You have to build fucking tension and shit like that. It's just like, come on, man. Why? Just do it. You know, you want to watch movies where shit don't work, like the fucking Infinity War. You do all this shit that make fucking sense for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And shit just do not work out in your fucking favor. They just don't. Which really, you know, what kind of is happening in Ant-Man Quantumania? You're like, because you know, they give you all these cryptic, anonymous ass messages and shit where, you know, Kang is like, you know, I can stop such and such from happening. You know, you just got to help me do this. And if you don't, then something worse is going to happen. But what happens if I do you some shit? Well, I mean, it's going to be fucked up, but you won't be fucked up. You know, I can save, you know, what's around you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I can save your world or save your timeline or whatever the fuck. But, you know, 1,000 other timelines will be fucked up instead. You know? Or some shit like that. You just... And it's one of them things where that's presented to him in the movie. You know, if somebody presents you with some shit like that, be like, no, well, fuck it. You know, well, it's presented to Janet. You know, well, shit, what happened? I mean, actually, it's presented to him, to Janet, and later on, it's presented to Scott. He was like, yeah, if you want, I can save what you want if you help me. But, you know, in turn for what, motherfucker? If you don't help me, you know, shit is gonna be fucked up for the both of us. But something even worse is gonna happen. It just, which Scott was thinking about in the first, the mid-credit scene. The mid-credit, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. So it was like, okay, wait a minute. He said something worse might be coming. Well, by defeating him, did we fuck up everything else? Did I just kill everybody? You know what I'm saying? Did I just kill everybody? Oh my goodness. And then he's like, well, fuck it. Ain't no use to me. Stop thinking about that shit. I'm going about my goddamn business. But that's it. When you think about it, and then you see the other credits, and you see the few extra fucking Kangs at the end. Like, oh shit, they got some more. And then it's like, okay, here goes some more Kangs. You got a fucking 1,000 of them shits. Right there, just So how they gonna remedy this shit? I don't know. I have no fucking idea. That's why we watch these goddamn movies. Because you see the shits. They keep raising the fucking stakes. You know what I'm saying? They keep raising the fucking stakes. To where now, you know, I think Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't know if it's still in the movies right now. It won't be on video for, you know, I won't be able to stream that shit for a while. Because it's already been out for a while. I might be able to watch it this coming weekend. Where I'll be able to get to the movie theater. And matter of fact, I'll look that up so I can plan my weekend. I can get to the movie, since my gym and the movie theater is literally right next to each other. I can go to the movies that morning if the movie is showing, if it's still showing. Watch that, then go to the gym after. Just walk to the gym. And then I won't be able to see the movie well, but I would have seen the movie nonetheless, to where I don't have to avoid videos and shit for the next 2 or 3 months or some bullshit like that. You know, it's not fun. It's not. I'm trying to figure out what's gonna go on, but like I said, I thought I saw Kang in a Guardians of the Galaxy, fucking Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. But then again, you know, nowadays you see a whole bunch of shit in the trailer that might not even show up in the movie. But that I don't think that'll be one. I don't think that'll be one of them. Oh shit. So we got that. I don't grade movies and shit like that. I like, when I watch it again, I typically don't watch those movies more than once. Only time I watch those movies more than once is if be like Doctor Strange. I saw that movie like twice, but I was actively doing reviews on that movie where I was trying to pick up shit. If I watch a movie twice, that means I done went to the movie and saw it, and then waited until it started streaming so I can actually see the movie. Yeah, so I can actually see the movie. So instead of just basically just sitting and listening to the movie like I did with Thor: Love and Thunder. Only thing I was able to make out in that movie was fucking Chris Hemsworth's white ass. Get down, cat. I guess I was trying to figure out a way to get in the way or something. Move. The wind is blowing. Anyway, anything else that came to mind? I tried to take notes, but I'm not that disciplined. I wrote like 3 notes down, and I talked about that shit earlier. You know, end credit scenes, both of those. I'm like, okay, none of that was surprising. You know, there's a bunch of Kangs out there already. Yeah, the first mid credit scene was just telling you that Kang was coming back, which is not true. It's not true. Kang is not coming back. Goddamn. Man, see? What's happening? You got, cats. The damn cat, we outside. You know what I'm saying? We outside. You got all this to mess around in, except for the street. Stay on outside the street. And you want to come right over here where my phone is. You want to come right over here where my phone is, where I got it propped up against my goddamn gnome, and start just fucking sitting up there. Ain't nothing over here. Cat ain't got nothing else to do, man. I know the cat be bored or some shit. Goddamn. You see me record, you know what I'm doing. What was I saying? I was saying something about, Kang not coming back. Well, I was talking about that for the second time. Kang is not coming back. What we getting is another Kang. So Kang will return is not technically accurate. A Kang or Kangs will return, maybe. And then they show you, in the end credit, they show you they show you some of the Kangs. Like I said, if it's infinite universes out there and timelines and whatnot, then that whole arena full of fucking Kangs that we saw can't be all of them, because it's, you can't contain them all. Look at this. She would not go away. Say hi. Say hi. Say yeah. Say hi, y'all. Go. What? Come over here to lick my finger. You outside. You around me all the time in the fucking house. Why are you out here bothering me while I'm out here trying to record? You see me trying to record. This is what I have to deal with. Anybody that got cats. It's funny. I'll be watching. I watch live streams and and shit like that. Just YouTube videos in general, and it is hilarious that content creators on YouTube that have cats you always aware that they got cats. It's funny as hell. It's just, yeah, you aware that they got cats. If the cat ain't showing up on screen somewhere, or you don't hit him up in the background, is that motherfucker making his presence known some kind of goddamn way. What the hell was that? Anyway, that's about it. I can't think of anything else in the movie other than it reminded me of Star Wars. I was surprised to see MODOK. I was surprised to see Bill Murray, even though I don't know who the fuck that character was. It don't really matter. Whatever that, anything else. And like I said, once I look at some videos, a bunch of those people will be able to point out all those other alien characters and all kind of other shit. I'm pretty sure those people didn't just pull all that shit out their ass. A bunch of those folks are gonna be able to. This is such and such from this, and that's such and such from that, and blah blah blah. Somebody gonna be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna be able to do that. It's just like that first black dude. That first black dude, I thought was gonna be another version of Kane. Like I say, my vision ain't all that great, and I'm not really familiar with Jonathan Majors, so I thought that was a Kane. The little glowy forehead dude that can read minds and thoughts or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I thought that was a Kane at first. I don't know. I was like, well, it must be another goddamn Kane. You never know what the fuck they gonna do. Turns out he wasn't. And then that chick that was with them that was kind of leading those rebellion people down there, I'm pretty sure she's somebody will be familiar with her and be able to point out where she comes from in the comics and shit like that. That don't seem like a character that they would just pull out their ass just to have, to have in a film that didn't have no origin anywhere. And that's it. I don't have much else to say about the characters. Like I said, I was happy to see that Janet, Michelle Pfeiffer. That's Michelle Pfeiffer. She had quite a bit to do, and then you see quite a bit of Michael Douglas. I was thinking Kirk Douglas when I was in the. No, he already done been in the thing. They done got the Douglases in there. Who the hell is? Cassie Lang. I don't know shit about Cassie Lang. I just know Cassie Lang is a thing. And like I already said about Hope Van Dyne, just that character is just whatever. Yeah, that's it. I can't think of nothing else. I'm finna go in the house and start prowling around on fucking YouTube to find some reviews to watch and see what people thought about this motherfucking movie, and then plan out my next excursion to see Guardians of the Galaxy or the Flash movie, whichever one I can get to first, because I want to see that, and I'm avoiding shit on that too, because I'm familiar with the Flashpoint shit. I've seen one trailer, and I've already seen too much. Some shit was, one thing was new, one thing was something I already knew was coming, because you can't help but know it was already coming. But can't stop. But I don't want to see nothing else when it comes to the Flash shit. The next time I see some shit related to the Flash, it's gonna be when I'm watching a fucking movie. So, yeah, and I don't know if that's out or whatever the fuck. I have no idea. But we gonna see. Until next time, folks. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.